You're watching CTOM TV. Knowledge is power.
So precision oncology simplified. What do we need to look at? We would look at your medical history. We would need to know your specific set of mutations, and they're going to be unique in you. And I just want to say a little thing about mutations. You know, DNA is probably the most complex molecule we've ever discovered in our universe. We barely touch the surface of it, but we do know a lot about it. Just to show you how many different possible mutations you can have in DNA, I think it's important to compare that to another subject, astronomy. You know, when you look at astronomy, you look up at a little dot in the sky and you think, wow, that could be a star. That could also be, you know, trillions of stars all in, you know, a massive new galaxy. The numbers are staggering and the distances are staggering. Well, in DNA, it's even more staggering. And I'll give you a brief example. So most genes are about, you know, 10,000, 20,000 DNA base pairs. Some genes get as high as 230, 240,000 base pairs. But if you just look at the amount of possible mutations in 150 base pairs, which is a tiny fraction of a gene, very, very small amount, the amount of possible mutations in just 150 base pairs would be calculated by taking the amount of DNA nucleotides we have, which is 4, and putting that by a power of 150. That's how many base pairs we'd be looking at. So just to look in that small amount, the number that gives you is significantly more possible mutations than all of the atoms in the known universe, which is just an infinite number. And that's just one tiny fraction of a gene. So the amount of possible mutations in each person is staggering. We can't even compute that because we don't have calculators that can deal with numbers that high. So it's an amazing amount of mutations. So therefore, you want to look at as many mutations as you can. And this is one of the problems with why cancer is such a difficult disease to treat, is because everyone has their own unique set of mutations. We've never seen two sets of mutations exactly the same in any two cancers. And more importantly, your individual tumor cells can have different mutations within the same tumor. So that's many conflicting or compounding issues with dealing with cancer. So secondly, or thirdly, we'll look at how these mutations interact with each other. Does one mutation cause another mutation to act differently? And that would tell us whether you need to have targeted therapies together and what combination of targeted therapies you'd have. Importantly, we would look at the treatment or combination of the treatments that are best for your mutations. Obviously, we'd want to look at the dosing of those treatments. You know, how much do you need versus how much is the standard? And importantly, we want to ensure that anything is FDA approved. It would be nice to have it Health Canada approved if you live in Canada, but that's not always possible. For us, the bottom line is whether a drug is FDA approved. We don't suggest using anything that's not FDA approved. And also clinical trials. Is there a clinical trial with valid data that can offer you the drug for free that you need?
Thank you for watching CTOM TV. Subscribe below and stay informed.